Alright guys, so Batman Ninja. I watched it yesterday. No, was it 2 days ago? I watched it 2 days ago. What can I say about this film? And this is gonna be spoilers. It's not. It's gonna be a review without. I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but long story short, Batman's in our time, gets transported to Japan, goes through a lot of stuff, runs out of gadgets, has to kind of gather himself, and kind of become like a samurai. A lot of crazy stuff happens in it. Some kind of mech, kind of Zord action happens, like Power Rangers, and all the characters are pretty. They're pretty unique the way they're the way they're represented. So let's talk about this film then. So when I've really gone into this film, I've really like looked at what it is. It's like a complete showcase of animation, and it's a complete. So it sort of seems like it's an exploitation of Japanese culture. It seems like they're trying to throw the whole kitchen at you with this. It's like they're like. So Batman gets thrown back in Japan. So, and anyone that's gonna watch this, I want people to understand this version of Batman, because I've said this in a few videos. One of my favorite YouTubers is a guy called Jody's Corner. He didn't really like the film. Him and his boys said that this version of Batman is not Batman. And there was a guy who I always watch his videos, and he has a friend called X Files. And I always disagree with X Files to a degree, and I even disagreed with him on this one. But then when I've watched the film myself, I completely understand where he's coming from. This version of Batman isn't our version of Batman. This version of Batman is a Japanese ideal. This is a version of Batman that is kind of like he's the interpretation of Batman, and he's Batman put in a different realm and done differently. It's kind of like the Batman from Injustice. Okay? He's not Batman traditionally, but he's still Batman. He's still really cool, but there's certain things he would do, there's certain lengths he would go to. This version of Batman is more talkative. He was way more like an anime character. He's more interactive. He's more about his moves. Everything he does is quite flashy. It's just very much like he's an anime character, like he's a hyper exaggerated anime character. Yeah, everything's got multi-purposes. So the characters in this film, and they were all done pretty well. They all look pretty good. I honestly feel like there may have just been too much going on, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it. I watched it from start to finish in one sitting. It was quite interesting. They went down a few different routes. Some of it was like 2D animation. A lot of it was 3D mixed with 2D. The backgrounds were beautiful. But yeah, to me, the weakest aspect of this film was kind of like how, as I said, how they characterize Batman. And that's only because I'm a hardcore Batman fan. If you're expecting Batman from the Arkham games, that is just ultimately resourceful, this Batman's not him. This Batman is resourceful, but very much explains and acts like he relies on his gadgets. Yeah, he's a great martial artist. Probably, he's still Batman. He's still, unquestionable, kind of like unrivaled martial artist and everything. But, I think it takes its toll on him when he like loses all his gadgets. He's like, I must recalibrate myself, and kind of learns the way of the ninja and samurai, and that's what the whole film's about. But that stuff kind of is overshadowed because that happens like probably after the halfway mark of the film. So you're like watching it and you're like, okay. So he doesn't spend that much time as a samurai. That's number one. Number two is there's a scene where kind of Batman is fighting against a giant robot, because all these there's like all the crime bosses of Gotham, everyone's been transported back to Japan by Gorilla Grodd, right? They've all been given giant robots because Gorilla Grodd gave them technology. They've all developed these giant robot fortresses. It's set in the Sengoku period of Japan, so it's the feudal states period of Japan. Quite interesting use of history, but that's when it's set. they've all got giant robots, which make them the baddest of the bad. So they've all got their own little clans that kind of work for them, right? Batman's having a fight with a giant robot, or the giant robot ends up being all the giant robots combined by Joker, and all of a sudden a giant Batman spirit is manifested somehow, and Batman's kind of like using it to fight like a Zord. And then so a lot of, when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but why that? Like, why not like some big, like, because it like manifests into like a giant version of the Golden Age Batman from the comic books, with the big ears and the yellow belt. And I'm like, okay, and it manifests out of all these bats combined. I'm like, okay, cool, but why that? Why not like a really cool, like really kind of like overpowered looking Batman creature or something? But who knows? So that was a bit weird, but it still was good. It still was fun, entertaining, but it was weird. You know, the scene when all the kind of crime bosses machines all merged together into this big Joker machine, that was really cool. You know, it was just such a beautiful film all over, but there was so many weird moments in it. And I understand why Jodie's Corner says he thinks the film was trash, because it's just weird. If you're, and I'm not trying to say they're very Americanized at all, because, but if you're kind of like an American person who's not really into anime and stuff like that, you might think that this is a bit mad, you know, this is a bit over the top. And that's what I kind of thought. I thought, yo, this is kind of over the top, because I don't really get why all of this stuff's happening. Because it's honestly like they throw in so much stuff. Like when Batman gets his Batmobile, because his Batmobile was in the same vicinity where they all got teleported, his Batmobile isn't just his Batmobile. It's a Batmobile, then it's the Batwing, then he merges it into a power suit, and it all gets destroyed in one scene. But still, it was that many different things, and you used them, and you kind of stopped and put writing on the screen every time it transformed, and it's very exaggerated, very over the top, very much like you're like, they're really trying to push it and really make this an anime, you know. And there's been Batman animes before that have been cool, you know. To me, I would have just preferred a straight Batman anime drawn in 2D animation by the same people that did Afro Samurai. I would have loved that, with like a cool villain. Could have done Court of Owls or something. Obviously that's been done, but that would have been cool, and just had some really good action. But instead we get Batman Ninja, which is 3D animation, really beautiful, really cool, but still it's very much focused on like trying to express itself being an anime at too high a level, doing too much, using, you know, Power Rangers as a reference point, you know, making Batman a samurai, which is pretty cool. Beautiful artwork, I gotta give them that. There's times when they change the animation style to convey a certain story. There's a little sequence with Red Hood and Joker and Harley, which is cool, but like didn't have to be in the film. You know, there's a lot of cool moments in the film. Joker's done really well. It's weird because Joker can fight now, apparently. But anyway, guys, it's strange, but check it out. It's interesting. It was fun to watch. I've been Fiji. This is where I think and I feel. Please like and subscribe. Share if you want to. It helps me get off the ground. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.